I call to order the Public Safety Committee meeting for September 24th, 2025. Octavia, could you take attendance, please?
Alderwoman Sims.
Here.
Alderman Gould.
Here.
Alderwoman Harder.
Here.
And Alderman Pluska.
Here, thank you. Our second item on the agenda is the approval of that agenda. Has everybody had a chance to take a look at it? Are there any changes to it, omissions, or additions? Seeing none, the agenda will stand as submitted. Our next item are citizen comments. If there's anybody in the audience or online, you'll be given up to 3 minutes to speak to this committee on any issue involving public safety. Is there anybody on?
I don't have anyone online.
Thank you. I'll close public comment and move to the reports of the committee and the chair. As the chairman, I do not have a report. Alderwoman Sims?
No report.
Thank you. Alderman Gould?
No report.
Thank you. Alderwoman Harder?
No report.
Thank you. I do not see a city administrator report. Thank you. The department reports begin with the police department. Chief Spees? Thank you.
Good evening. I wish all of our months were like September's going in crime for the city of Brentwood. We're having a very low quantity of crime in the month of September, including no car crime so far. We'll probably have 6 of them tonight as I say that. But, we have no car crime for September to report, including no stolen autos. So we're doing very well in that crime category. In terms of crime, we continue to, retail theft continues to be what drives almost all of the crime here in Brentwood. So Amber Hawkins, Detective Hawkins, is assigned to our retail area, and she continues to do a good job with following up on our cases that can be investigated, and those that are serial people that steal from us are people that we're paying close attention to and trying to get some intervention with the courts. Give you a quick update on the electric vehicle. Major Sullivan's responsible for doing that as our administrative major. It has been a process to get it upfitted, but it is at the upfitters now, and Joe just told me it should be ready in about a week, hopefully. So we intend to put that vehicle on the street, and we'll see how it holds up to the rigors of doing our job on the street. During this, since we saw you last, we had a promotion. Hobby was promoted. As you know, he was our SRO, so Hobby now is going back on the street as a corporal. We saw a strong need to have a corporal oversee our parks and traffic, and Brian Hopler was assigned to do that, and he's off to a very good start. He started in September, so his report for September indicates there were a lot of summonses written, so Brian is part of the traffic initiative that we have for both parking and for traffic summonses. So we think that this is a good move towards really paying close attention and focusing on the areas that you give us as aldermen and the citizens call and make complaints on. So one of the things that's difficult for us is continued emphasis in those areas that need attention. We know what they are. High School Drive, for example, has been an issue with us. We get helped by the speed bumps that get installed in this regard, but it still needs enforcement activity. So having Brian there will really help us with that. Just to give you an idea of his, and this is all 3 officers for the month of September, but just between the 3 officers, they've written 43 tickets so far this month. So that's a very good total here in Brentwood. We, as you know, we do our officer safety role play training. A couple of you here have actually been and witnessed that training. We have 2 officers that we're hiring as to help us with as a consulting unit to come in. These are 2 retired St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department officers. The sergeant involved in that company probably has more experience in these things than anyone I know. So he's a great resource for our officers to learn and practice, and also do some connectivity with our neighboring departments in terms of response to crowd control, a riot, things like that, protest, school shootings. These are all interconnected trainings that Brian and Nick will do with us and for us. So they're going to be a very good resource for us as we move forward and really put that officer safety program on steroids as we go forward. Just a couple other things to mention. Our Police Foundation, along with the Elks Club, is having the golf tournament that I think you probably all are aware of on October 2nd. We're looking forward to having a fun day out there, and we get to skip, I hope so, we get to skip going to a meeting that night for the budget. She's going to catch up with us later, I'm sure. And then on October 3rd, we hope to have all of you guys out on to the range, and we hope that'll also be a fun day. But it really gives us an opportunity to show you the weapons that the police department has available, how we use them, what scenarios would be we would deploy them, and then we'll put them in your hands and let you shoot them and feel what they feel like to us on the other side. So we look forward to spending that day with you guys. Lunch will be provided. A little quick update on the mini bike legislation that has been ongoing now for months. Still waiting on Jim Hetledge to give us the revised code that he is offering as an ordinance. And I think Jim's probably doing a lot of due diligence around what other cities are doing and trying to prepare that ordinance so that it can be best enforced as we go forward. Obviously, the summertime is the time that we need that the most. I'll be happy to answer any questions. We have one item on the new business report. Major Sullivan's in the back, and he'll talk to you about that, but I'll be happy to answer any questions if you have them.
I had a clarification question. So is there a replacement for the SRO? So Javi, when is he going to stop?
Bobby will train the new SRO for at least a week, maybe two.
Okay.
It depends on which officer is selected this week. We have the school superintendent coming Thursday for interviews with us.
Okay, good.
So Amy's going to do the interviews, and so we'll pick there were 4 officers that put in for the position. So we will do interviews Thursday and select from there, and then that person will be with Javi for at least a week, but it'll probably be 2.
Okay, yeah, that's why I was wondering if there was going to be a gap at all, or, I mean, it's an important role and has to connect with the student body to
An
build
interesting
trust.
group of people to put in for. We have Chris Chambers, who used to be a teacher, so
Okay.
he's got obvious. We've got a couple other guys that had strong interest in, kind of shadowed Javi throughout the schools in the last couple of years. So it'll be an interesting conversation Thursday.
That's good.
See
Good to
who
hear.
our
Thank you.
command staff selects.
Question? Thank you,
Yes, sir.
Chief. Cottrell?
Good evening. Just a few brief comments regarding the fire department update. The promotional process for lieutenant completed, and we are very excited. Darren Chavez is promoted as our next lieutenant. He's been assigned to B shift. Actually, today is his first day working on B shift. We look forward to bringing him forward before the Board of Aldermen at a later meeting in October to recognize him for that accomplishment. With him vacating his position as engineer, we are now testing for an engineer position, and that the testing and interview process begins next week. We should conclude by Friday and an announcement shortly thereafter. Training updates. I don't know if you witnessed last week, we had quite a mix in different departments visiting our station. With Washington University physicians came on site and conducted active shooter training for patient care. So the simulation of 12, 15 patients at one time, and the medics treating these patients appropriately and prioritizing them. So that was very well received. They performed it Monday, Wednesday, and Friday last week, and just a tremendous partnership with Washington University physicians that we are very fortunate to be part of. East Central Dispatch update, so a little bit more than even what I have typed in here. It's been a busy week with that. So inside the Motorola CAD, as I have reported the last prior meetings, last couple, a change has occurred within the last couple of weeks that's been very positive on selecting appropriate equipment to go to these calls. That no one knows who made the change early spring, but regardless, it appears to have been corrected, and we have made some progress. With that being said, the East Central Board of Directors did hire a consultant to do an examination of the CAD implementation and all the workings of the Motorola Premier One CAD, and East Central Dispatch. That is underway right now. We met yesterday as a fire chief's operation group with all the players in the same room at one time. And then today, the assistant chief and myself had our interview with the consultant. So we discussed just the history of being on with Motorola. So I don't know the timing of when that report will be available, but they are gathering that information right now. So very good movement with those concerns. GEMT, to keep you posted, we continue to work with PCG, our consulting firm, on the GEMT reimbursements we receive for Medicaid patients. Fiscal year 22 and 23 continue to be in question. Their requested reimbursement has been reduced by about $15,000 to date, but it's still under review. So we should have this finalized in October, but we continue to provide information and work with both parties. We're still waiting on fiscal year 24 funds to be released. That is typically done in April, so we're getting there. Recent alarms. So we did have a 2-alarm fire in Maplewood, a commercial restaurant fire that all Brentwood equipment responded to. It was a all hands working fire. It was kind of amazing because you go from an occupied restaurant to 2 alarms with flames, essentially through the roof. So, but it was because it occurred while they were changing the oil in a fryer. So, they had extra fuel, hot fuel, that really spread this fire quickly. So crews did an amazing job. I complimented many departments because the way we worked together is a direct result of our training program. We trained together. They absolutely worked together on this call, and it made a big difference. The odors of gas across St. Louis County, they have slowed down. This was extremely busy days on the 18th. It started on the 17th. It carried on for about 3 or 4 days of running these gas odors. Obviously, great concern after the explosion that occurred in North County earlier this year. It was an error at Spire. They added too much of the additive that gives the odor to the natural gas. So I'm not aware of actual gas leaks that occurred. There's just so much of this additive that was being released. So we did have several calls in the Brentwood area. However, no active leaks, no injuries in Brentwood. The final topic I just want to discuss, this is in progress, and it's the monthly performance measures. FEMA changed their reporting system for the fire service across the country. This is a very positive move. It really brings us to being able to use current technology in fire reporting, but it's going to change how some of our reports may look. I don't have that information for you today because we are in transition right now. So once we learn more, I will communicate that out. I think it'd be minor changes. We're tracking our times in the same manner, but the categories that we report out, I just want to be inclusive and share all of that data. I hope to be closely aligned as what we are today. So,
Thank you very much, Chief.
thank you.
Have some miscellaneous project updates. So starting with Strassner Drive, the decorative light that's in that berm area between Urban and Brentwood Boulevard. Some of the parts are here in St. Louis. The electrician's waiting on the final part, and as soon as he gets it, then he'll coordinate that and get that light replaced. The other ones are working. It's just there is one that's missing from its base. Manchester Road, the electrician's already met with staff. He's looked at the electrical panel, as well as there's a street light that's leaning over by the self-storage. They looked at the light to see if it could be repaired, but he said the welds are all broken at the base and it's aluminum, so he's like, it's very difficult to put that back together. So he is going to give us a quote for ordering a new one and fixing that panel. Looks like the wiring's fine in the panel, but the panel itself is kind of bent up. Over on McKnight Road, just to, bring it back, here's an update. The pilot program, I had sent the agreement to the city attorney. City attorney redlined it. I sent that to the vendors. I'm waiting on TAPCO to agree with that, everything's fine with it, and then I'll bring that back to the board for execution. And then High School Drive, I think Ward 1 was notified of this, but High School at Harrison, just on the east side of High School, just north of Harrison, there's a utility marker. It's for underground that AT&T has, and it was old school. It was on a steel post with an aluminum sign, and I believe someone struck it, a child, and wanted to know what we could do to fix it. So she had contacted them, and in the pictures you can see it's replaced with a plastic one now. It's PVC. And then when I was out there, I noticed that there's a lip between like the curb where it flattens down and meets the street. It was more than an inch, so I had our staff go out there and mill that. In the future, I'd like to remove that whole slab and put in like the truncated domes like around the other three corners. It's odd that that one doesn't match, but it's probably just that it's that old. But had that removed. And then the last update was, I believe we mentioned it at the last meeting, but one of the residents had asked us to move the data collector, and I'm just wanting to record data for posterity anyways, but, we had it over at 2627 High School, which is just south of Powell on the east side of High School. And then I moved it even further south, so it's just north of that island, north of Carl's, but it's further south than the original data collector. So you can see there's, a pie chart for before we moved it, and then after we moved it up at 2638, and then there's a summary table. So what I'm seeing is, cars that are going 30 miles per hour and up, it's still trending on the lower side than before we ever did the improvements. The before condition was like 16.6% of the total vehicle counts that went through there. Of the 12,265, we're doing 30 and up. That's reduced down, if you common size that, to like 6.5% that we just recorded at the end of August into September. And then before that, at 5.5%, but that was just a little bit north of there. So it looks like it's still doing its job. You're getting still some crazy numbers, but it's very few and far between. So there was like 2 vehicles that did 52 miles per hour, but 2 out of, 15,852, it's, thousandths of a percent. It's not good that they go that fast, but I don't know, even if you put in another speed cushion, I don't know how you would control that. That's just behavior. But I think they're doing well. I don't think we need to do anything differently there. Every now and again, I guess, enforcement or put the speed trailer maybe to deter them, but I think most people with normal cars have to slow down when they go through there. That's it.
This has nothing to do with what you reported, but we have that stop sign by the gazebo.
Yes.
It's supposed to be flashing, and it's not, and you were going to replace it or something? Do you know what the,
Yeah, I'm trying to think if we received it. I know I replaced the other one that
Right.
was at high school. Yeah, high school in Brentwood,
Brentwood, and then you took the
because
one
that's a
that-
brand new one there.
Then you took that one that was sort of
Right, and
working,
we
put it by
moved
the
it.
gazebo, and then it just quit working, and I was just wondering if,
Yeah, let me check, because I know I ordered it, and I thought it got into the shop, but I guess no one's put it up yet. I'll check that one.
Great. Jeff?
During the last meeting, we had some residents discuss some of the cracking pavement in Hanley Industrial Court by the Sand Valley Ball Courts and all that.
Yes.
Just curious if your staff has taken a look at that, and I know that it's
Yes.
sort of hurdles the Public Works Committee plus the Public Safety Committee, but.
We did look at it. The best thing we can do between now and when it's permanently fixed is we'll mill it out. We did that on Eulalie, so take the milling machine, cut out maybe 2 inches, and then roll hot mix in there, and that should fill those gaps. But yeah, there's like 2 spots that are, I don't know, maybe, I'd say probably 3 or 4 inches across where the seam like broke open, and it's maybe 2 inches deep.
Okay, great,
I
thank you.
just think we need to cut a deeper seam, like if we have to cut even more of it out, just do that.
Questions?
Okay, thanks.
Next item on our agenda is the consent agenda. The only thing contained within it are meetings from August 27th, Does anybody on the committee have a chance to review those minutes? And more importantly, is there any interest in changing those minutes, redacting, adding? Seeing none, can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Yes. Alderman Gould,
Yes.
Alderwoman Harder. Yes. Alderman Pluska,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you. We move on to new business, and the first item under subsection A is the Blue Shield grant.
I wanted to give you guys an update on a grant through the Missouri Blue Shield City program. The first week of the month, we were notified, there was an employee in the Department of Public Safety Missouri that was kind enough to reach out and say that there was more money appropriated into the fund. But of course, it's the 11th hour, and the caveat was, you kind of need to get this done in 3 days. So we kind of streamlined that process. Normally, we come before you guys, but in-house, we communicated with the city administrator that we should get on this because it's not a reimbursement grant, so there'll be no money up front. It's an equipment grant up to $50,000, so filled out online for 7 Motorola radios, and I'm pretty optimistic, experiencing other grant process, that this was so simplified that I'm almost confident we were going to get this grant. We'll find out next month, and the funds will be available next May.
Any questions by the committee? This was for informational purposes only. This has
Yes.
already been done and submitted. Thank you very much. Thanks for that. Absolutely. We have the Pine Street parking, and I think you have just an informational update, Dan, right? Right. Okay.
If you recall at the last meeting, this is Pine Avenue between Brentwood Boulevard and High School. It was talked about possibly doing permit parking, so the residents only could park there. Originally, I'd done a letter, but then with the assistance of the communications manager, we did a postcard, so that's attached to your documents. And they've got until October 3rd to give us some sort of feedback, either leave it alone, leave it the way it is, or change it to residents only. So far, there's, I believe, 39 homes, and of the 39, I think 20 have responded.
Oh, good.
So, and it's about split 50-50.
Is it really?
So, yeah, it's like when we get down to the wire, we'll bring it back. And I said, well, what's the winning ticket here? Is
Right.
it one over the simple majority? I don't know.
Yeah.
But we'll be bringing that back at the next meeting.
Anybody have any questions about this? We'll take this up in October, obviously.
Right, yeah, as soon as I get the results, I can send them to Bola and we can.
I just wanted to say, the design of the card is really nice. I mean, not that it's that big a deal, but it's, I'm not surprised you got a lot of response. It's very,
Yeah, it's pretty
something you saw
simple.
it come in the mail, I think you would pay attention to it, so.
Yeah, we delivered them door to door, so it's like I know they got them. It's just,
Oh,
I
great.
don't know if they're going to respond. Some people take a while.
And I'm assuming the QR code is a pretty easy thing to, yeah, very good.
I just scanned it and it pulls it up just fine. So,
You get 2 choices.
yeah, exactly.
Thank you very much. Yeah, two
thanks.
choices, right. Keep them limited.
I didn't respond since I'm, not living on that street though.
Stuffing the ballot.
Yes, right.
Item 9 on our agenda is another opportunity for citizen comments. Is there anybody in the audience here or online who wishes to address this committee on any issue of public safety? You'll be given up to 3 minutes. Please identify yourself by name and address.
I don't have anyone online.
Okay, I'm going to declare the citizen comments closed, and since that is the last item on our agenda, I also will let you know that